Cowboys Nation and YouTubers? Is that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you? Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic. Plus, they're all my thoughts and ramblings that I want to talk about. So let's make this quick because Lord knows, every time I try to make a video, it seems like the Cowboys are doing something right after the video is being made. And then I got to make a whole new one. I made one like 2 days ago, a long two-parter, and then I had to scrap it because the Cowboys went out and did some more stuff before I could even post it. So let's try to run through these thoughts and everything before something else changes. Okay, let's go through them. There's about 10. Let's get the easy ones out the way. Odell Beckham, Stephen Jones says they're still, in communication with him. They're still talking to him. I don't think it's going to happen because he's going to want that money. And the Cowboys are already over the cap. So I don't know if that's going to be a situation where it's actually going to work out. It may not. Just depends on his asking price. I know he's posted a workout video finally for people to see. But until you get him in the building again and work him out, if he takes the workout, then you'll really know what you got. Until then, you're just going off of YouTube videos and stuff like that. That's not exactly how the best way to look at a talent in acquisition. But we do have a wide receivers coach still, so excuse me, that might work out. Kellen Moore is to the Chargers. Okay, great. He found a job 2 minutes after we let him go. It is what it is. People are trying to make him out like he's the new Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, OC super genius that he's not. I don't know why y'all trying to do that when the man couldn't do anything with our guy. Y'all trying to make it seem like, oh, now that he's with Herbert, he's going to jump off the charts. Like, we'll find out if coaching matters or not. That's for sure. Or if it's just pure talent. Chargers fans are trying to be cute with it. They're trying to bring up the stats now when stats didn't matter before. But again, I say those stats don't matter because they never show up when you needed them. So who cares what the stats were? Today or yesterday, I think a couple of hours ago, it was reported that Brett Maher is gone. They're not attempting to bring him back. I guess the postseason run was pretty much his death knell. They don't even want to take a shot at keeping him. They're not going to go back to, Zierlein or anything. So it's going to be an open kicking competition. I don't know who they're going to bring in for it or they draft somebody for it. Who knows what they're going to do with that kicking situation. But if they don't get some stability there, they're just going to be recycling same old names like they always do. Like they used to do with the quarterbacks. They're just going for a name who's probably not the best option. But they'll do it, they'll pay for it, and we'll find out if it blows up in their face or not. Doug Nussmeier, our former quarterbacks coach, is now in Baltimore interviewing for the offensive coordinator position. We'll see how that works out. I think they're interviewing somebody else as well. So he might have a leg up. I don't know. Because I think they're trying to get somebody who's already on staff to promote him. And Doug is coming in from somewhere else. So we'll have to see if he's a gone or what. He's going to have Lamar more than likely as a talent if he does get the job compared to Dak. So we'll have to see, again, if coaching matters, if he gets the job. Next, we do have a new offensive line coach. Mike Solari, 68 years old. He's a former offensive coordinator, and he's worked with Mike McCarthy in Green Bay before, so they got that history. But he also worked 2 years as an assistant under Tom Landry. In 88 and 89, I do believe, were the years he was there. So that's a hell of a coaching background if you worked with Tom Landry and you're coming back with Mike McCarthy. That's a long time in between those Cowboys head coaches. But he does have the coaching pedigree and background. He's been around. So hopefully he brings some fresh ideas, helps these guys take it to the next level, and hopefully the front office figures out what they're going to do with the O-line, because if Tyron stays, is he going back to left guard or left tackle? And that puts Tyler back at left guard. I don't know. We'll have to see how that configuration is going to start playing out next season, or if they'll just get new guys. Speaking of Tyron, he had some surgery today to clean up some things, something minor. But those nagging injuries as you get older are starting to be like a precursor every season now. It's not good. More than likely DeMarcus Lawrence is going to get something cleaned up. Michael Gallup already got a knee and ankle cleaned up. Not the surgically repaired one, but his other one. That could be a contributing factor as to why it seemed like he was off, as well as the ACL. So hopefully he's back, he's rested, and he will be ready to go in time for training camp this year. Jeff Nixon. I said it wrong last time. I called him Joe, but his name is Jeff Nixon. He's the former Carolina running backs coach who came in for the offensive coordinator position. And more than likely that was just to satisfy the Rooney Rule. I don't think he really has a shot at taking the job. There's other offensive coordinator contacts that are out there that people like, that have the West Coast philosophy in their bag, so it can help with the transition from the old school Jason Garrett, Linehan, Kellen Moore stuff to Mike McCarthy's. We'll see. We'll see. It's a waiting process. They're not worried about it right now. Speaking of linemen, Tyler Biadasz is now a Pro Bowl alternate. He's going to play due to Kelsey going to the Super Bowl. So, hey, that's an 8th member of the Cowboys going to the Pro Bowl. And funny how we used to dump all over Tyler for getting his butt whooped in games for the years past. But he was quietly one of the best offensive linemen we had all year. When he was injured, it really took a lot out of this offensive line. And it shows now he's a Pro Bowler. So somebody took notice other than the Cowboy fans. So that's a good thing. The stuff that's going to affect the cap this year, Jerry and Steven have talked about an extension for Dak Prescott, which fans are going to hate and shit all over it, but it frees up money on the cap and the long term. So if they do have that much faith in Dak, go for it. I mean, y'all been doing it to other players for years, doing extensions, moving money around to get under the cap, salary dumps and whatnot. So if it works out, it works out. Zeke, same thing. They want to keep him, but he already knows he's more than likely going to have to take a pay cut to stay on the team. And if he's going to do it, go ahead. You still want to draft a running back if you're not getting like Davis back. But I think you'd go ahead and keep him, because you don't know how long it's going to take Pollard to come back, what he's going to be like when he comes back. And even if he's there, Zeke was still a beast at getting you 1-2 yards. It's just that situationally, your offensive coordinator didn't know what the hell he was doing. And you got 2 yards and you sitting up here throwing the fucking ball. Instead of using the hammer that was Zeke. He may not get all the yardage like people want anymore, but he could still pound the rock when he had a line that he could run behind. So keeping him 1-2 more years is great. Develop Pollard some more. Make sure he's not injury prone, and develop Davis more if you have a opportunity, because he's got pretty much the same skills as Pollard if you use him right, but we won't know unless they use him. So we'll have to see how that goes. But that's all I wanted to get out of the way, because it seems like something's happening every day before I can even upload these things. Senior Bowl, the practices are going well. You're hearing a bunch of stuff about the quarterbacks that are looking good. You're hearing stuff about the running backs that are looking good. Wide receivers, I mean, some of the classes this year aren't the greatest, so it's still going to be kind of iffy depending on what the Cowboys are going to be looking for. And lastly, I've seen people want Robinson at 26 for our first round pick. If y'all hated Zeke at number 4, drafting him so high, at 26 is still not going to make a difference. Some have argued that if you get him or a quarterback in the first round, you get that 5th-year option. That's great and all, but you're using your first round talent on something that's probably not needed. So if you go corner or a wide receiver, that might look a little better, but I don't know where they're going to go with it. Are they going to move Micah from linebacker to full-time defensive end? Or, there's a lot of moving parts. We don't know who's coming back in free agency yet, so they may not even worry about some of the positions. But the draft is going to be very interesting from the Cowboys because they got a lot of positions to fill, quite a few picks to do it with, but it's going to be on Will McClay and that scouting team to put these guys in the right position, get the right kind of guys, and hit on them. So we'll see how that goes. But that's all I wanted to talk about this time. Until next time, this is VA Dallas Cowboy fan.